Welcome back to Spotlight, everybody. 3 Christmas Day games, 2 Saturday games, then a regularly scheduled Sunday and Monday games. This is only the 3rd time since the 2002 realignment and the first since 2013 that 7 of the 8 divisions are still up for grabs with 2 weeks left in the regular season. You know what else is still up for grabs? The ATS picks debate between Kyle Long and Pete Prisco. That is tight, folks.
I had a terrible week last week. What a choking dog.
Noted
I'm like
there.
the Green Bay Packers on trying to get an onside kick.
Choking dog.
6-11. You are Romeo Dobbs, Pete.
So, that's what I was. I was
Caleb Williams back to pass.
I was Romeo Dobbs last week. Just give the ball away, Romeo.
Got to get you that Guardian.
Heck of a week.
But best bets were good for one Pete Prisco. So
Yeah.
Okay, at least you have that to hang your hat on.
I've had a good year with the best bets, and I've had a pretty good year up until last week. It was just look,
This
at
league.
crunch time. I wilted like Sam Darnold in crunch time.
Wow.
Week 16 done and dusted. Time now to tackle the Week 17 slate with Kyle Long and Pete Prisco. I'm Tommy Trent in for Chris Hassel. Another bye week for Hasselhoff.
By the way, not Sam Darnold last week.
No.
He didn't wilt at all in crunch time.
Chris Hassel leads the league in season vacations.
He got a bye week every other week. That
Unbelievable. He's a vet. He's a veteran.
guy. You've been in here like 2 times in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm here to hang with the fellas.
Yeah.
So, it was fun a few weeks ago. Here to do it again this holiday week, which again, we have 3 Christmas Day games, a couple Saturday tilts, and we will go through the rest for the rest of this program.
Let's have at it.
Yeah, let's do it here. So we got Cowboys and Commanders, a touchdown spread with a total at 50.5, and this was actually Cowboys about 5.5, and so there's a lot of Dallas money. Given the performance against the Chargers, Pete Prisco, so what's the play?
Well, I think that's the quarterback situation in Washington. You don't know if Mariota's going to play, and so it's a disaster at quarterback, and I think that's why that number has gone up. Look, the Cowboys didn't play very well last week. I thought they would. In fact, I had them as my best bet last week. I thought they would show up against the Chargers, and they did not. I think they rebound here. Look, the Washington defense is awful. And I think Dak Prescott and his receivers are going to go, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go, we got 2 more weeks, let's go have some fun, throw it around, and they're going to throw it around a lot and have success throwing it around. In fact, I'd like this game to go over. I think the Cowboys are going to put up a big number on offense. I'll take the Cowboys minus the points.
Getting loose in the nation's capital here on Christmas week. I love that. And the way you framed that was really good. I mean, let's just go have fun. And it's fun to play when you've got a good quarterback, you got good receivers, you've got young players all around looking to build on something for next year. This has to be the Cowboys for me. There's been too much happening for the Washington team, particularly defensively.
So both on the Cowboys and a little on the over for
this Christmas Day slate, when they set the schedule.
It looked good when they set the schedule.
Yeah, and you look at this, I mean, think about it. The Commanders were in the championship game a year ago, and now look. I mean, it can flip in a hurry.
That's parity in the NFL, which we have now in 2025. Second game on Christmas Day, Lions and Vikings. Detroit laying the 5.5 with a total at 44 and a hook. The ending of the Lions-Steelers game, Kyle, is that like a soul crusher for Detroit? They've got a 5% chance to make it to the postseason.
It's not the souls of the Detroit Lions are not ones you can crush because of their leader. And he comes in, they don't win a game, and then they win all the games, and now you're in a spot where you've won half the games, and you got to win all the rest of your games and get some help. I mean, this is where Dan Campbell's culture, Dan Campbell's intensity will show up for the Detroit Lions. I love the Lions in this football game. Also, big questions on that other sideline. That wince when they touch J.J. McCarthy's hand. We've all been there before. If you've had any type of bone issue, they touch that thing, you're like, get your hand off of me. That's what I saw a little bit about with the Vikings. Give me the Lions.
I'm on the Vikings here, even though whether McCarthy plays or not. I love the way the Vikings defense is playing. I mean, they haven't given up a touchdown pass in like 8 weeks, I think. It's incredible what Brian Flores has done, again, with that defense. He's a great defensive coach, by the way. You mentioned Dan Campbell and the culture and everything. If Dan had kicked a field goal early in that game last week instead of going for it on
They've
fourth down.
got themselves in this spot from a few of these Tuesdays. You and I have talked. You said, what the hell is
Well, this one was just blatant. Think about it. Had they kicked the field goal early in the game when it was 3-0, instead of going for it on fourth down, they would have been down by how many late in the game? By 2. And they would have only needed a field goal and not that disaster that happened at the end of the game. So if you want to blame anybody, you can blame Dan Campbell for the position that they're in right now. Their chances are really slim. but I think they're going to have a real problem with that defense this week. I don't know how they get up off the carpet again.
You hinted, though, at the Vikings cover again. How do they get there? Do they try to implement a run game like Pittsburgh did against Detroit?
It's exactly what you do. And by the way, the Lions' defense is not very good either. No. So, look, if it's not J.J. McCarthy and it's Max Brosmer, it's a problem. But you run the ball and you play good defense and you keep yourself in the game. I don't know if they'll win the game, but
you're at home.
And you'll stay within that number.
What are they going to be hearing?
It used to be 10 times worse when it was in the Metrodome.
That was great when they were going.
People hate when I do the other team celebrations.
Why?
But they're cool, you know.
They are. Skull's a great one.
You hear that Galler horn, and you think the Vikings are coming out of the ceiling.
When they played in the Metrodome back in the day, it was so bad because they did it right up until a team broke the huddle. It was just obnoxious.
Broncos Chiefs with a total that like reminiscent of like Steelers Ravens from like the 2000s, like 36.5. Broncos laying double digits here, 12.5. This was a game last year, if you guys remember. Chiefs were 9-0. Will Lutz had a chance to keep things interesting.
Yeah.
And it got blocked, and the Chiefs continued those one-score games. A lot has changed since then for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Like who's starting at quarterback?
Well, yeah, Gardner Minshew out. Patrick Mahomes out. So
Chris, who's going to say his name?
Come on, you go ahead.
No, we were practicing this week. You practiced the most.
I did it.
You did it so easily earlier.
You said Aluakon, and that's
not what I said.
Yes, you did.
I don't know what it is, so I don't know what I said, but you said it right.
I did, but now I'm not going to say it right, so I'm not going to say it.
Aluakon? You didn't say that?
It's not Aluakon.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's not. Aluakon plays a linebacker
yes,
for the Jaguars.
he gets the football. This guy throws the football.
But look, the Chiefs showed against the Titans what happens when you're eliminating your bunch of veterans. That's what they did. They went out on the road. Their backup quarterback got hurt, and they were lifeless. They didn't play very good football. But I think there's going to be something here where a lot of those veterans in a nationally televised game in front of the home crowd are going to show up and play. Denver is going to win the game, but this number is way too bloated for my liking. I'm going to take the 12.5 and the Chiefs. I think there's some pride on that side of the football, and I think they do show up and play well here.
You said the number's big?
Yeah.
Too big?
Yeah.
I think that guy, Sean Payton, has a problem. And I think he wants to embarrass the Kansas City Chiefs, just like he does every week with football teams. And after last game, you have to think that the punching bag is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs for the Denver Broncos. Give me the Broncos. You know I love the Chiefs. I respect the Chiefs. But they ain't the Chiefs right now. And
Small market team. Small market team.
Your guy got so worked up over that.
Wasn't that funny?
I listened to that. It wasn't as bad as he made it out to be.
No, but it's funny, though, and because Sean Payton won a Super Bowl in a small market known as New Orleans, so he's taking shots at teams for being in a small market.
I got the Broncos.
You got the Broncos?
I think divisional matchup, regardless of what's going on in the season, wins. Go beat a team once. You'll see them twice next year. This matters.
Do the veterans show up and play, though? Do they show up?
Depends on who. Everybody's different. No one guy's the same. And I played in a lot of these Week 17, Week 18 games that were meaningless, essentially. But to me and the guys that I was playing with, it means a lot to you. I mean, it's your last shot before the offseason. And if you want another opportunity, whether it's with that club or 31 others, you better put it on tape because the people evaluating, they don't want to see guys who are out to lunch.
And it matters if they're at home. If you were on the road like they were last week, they were lifeless last week. But you're at home. You want to at least try and show up for the home crowd.
Yeah, Chiefs against Titans last week. Titans were a popular upset pick, especially in Pick'em. Some other venues too in terms of gambling markets there. So here's a look at the Christmas Day recap. You guys are on the same side with the Cowboys. We're going head-to-head with Lions, Vikings, and Broncos.
This is the week he catches me, I think. I got rotten crap.
You're just trying to lay it already?
Look at my pick.
I got
Minnesota
and the tortoise and the hare.
I got Minnesota and Kansas City with backup quarterbacks. What in the hell am I doing?
Excuse Prisco. Are you trying to lay it
Not
down
excuse.
There? We still have a few segments left to go. There's a lot left here in the show, my man. Okay, let's hit a break. Texans, Chargers.
I love those jerseys.
This line has flipped. I'll tell you about it, and then these guys will tell you which side they're on. Welcome back to the show. So we took care of Christmas Day games. Now it's Saturday games. NFL taking over Saturdays now that college football is.
Oladokin does not play on Saturday.
Oladokin does not play. Say it again.
Oladokin.
Oladokin.
We've been practicing.
Yeah, we've been practicing.
You got it.
Chris Oladokin.
We did our homework.
We did, and we brought our viewers the results of that. By the way, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, back and concussion worries for both quarterbacks. So it'll be Snoop Huntley and Malik Willis, come Saturday.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, well, it's
It's not Oladokin.
You guys mastered it. Back here at the Fellas.
We mastered that, and you messed up Willis.
I really did. I set myself up. You guys got the layup. I had the layup, and I missed the bunny. So we have this line of Texans and Chargers, which actually, if you looked at the look-ahead, Houston was laying 1.5, and now they're catching 1.5. Some of that was sense. Texans, Raiders, close game. Chargers, Cowboys. Chargers performing well. So, interestingly enough, Kyle, where do you stand on that? Because you said that was interesting to see the line.
It's crazy because I've doubted this Chargers team all year, and I'm going to pick the Texans because they've been getting right, and obviously the defense is a horse, and what's the issue with the Chargers? It's their tackle position. And what's the strength of that Texans team? It's their edge rushers. This is the don't make it too complicated game for me. I like the Houston Texans.
I'm on the other side, and what I saw from that Texans offense was bad last week. And against the Raiders defense, it's not very good. I mean, they got a pick 6 for a touchdown. They didn't do much on offense. C.J. Stroud did not play very well. His offensive line, which had been playing better, didn't play very well. So I'm concerned. You talk about the offensive line for the Chargers.
I know.
They didn't give up a sack last week. They played much better than they had been playing. And the flip side is the Texans' offensive line didn't play as well as they had been playing. So I think I flip it. You go out on the road. I think this is a tough game. It's going to be a tough physical game for both teams. But I think in the end, getting Omari and Hampton going in the run game was big for them last week, and I think that'll carry over. If you run the ball at the Texans, I think that's the way to attack them. You can neutralize those pass rushers and then hit those shots off the play action. I think the Chargers find a way to win this game. In fact, I think the Chargers are winning the West.
Which you said, and yet they're still outside of your top 10 of the power ranking.
Well, you got to earn your way into my top 10. You don't just wake up.
You don't protect your quarterback 1 week and get in the top 10.
You don't just wake up and get in there. You got to earn your right into there. That's hard to get into. It's a hard club to get into that top 10.
No Woody Marks for the Texans last week. It'd be interesting to see his health status to help some of that run game for Houston. Ravens-Packers is a game which we have our injury update alert sensors on for both quarterbacks with Jordan Love concussion. Lamar Jackson
I'm not
with
concerned
the
about it.
No? You guys are both on the same side on this one.
I'm not concerned about the quarterback situation. If it's Malik or if it's Jordan, I think this football team can win. And, I mean, we've seen Matt LaFleur do it, right? This isn't like we saw it for the first time this past week against the Chicago Bears. Malik Willis can throw the football. He can run the football. He's a threat on third down, and he's somebody that Matt LaFleur can scheme a lot of stuff around. Not only that, even without a week to prep for the Bears, in a game plan designed for Jordan Love, he went out there and did pretty darn well, in my opinion. Give me the Packers. I trust this team, particularly at home late in the season.
This is a really hard game to pick, and for a couple of reasons. If the Lions lose, then the Packers are in, right? I mean, they have no motivation. The Ravens are playing because their season's on the line, and they need to win this game to have any chance. And so the motivation factor could be a part of this equation as well. And the quarterback situation being what it is. Malik Willis, what if it's Malik Willis against Lamar Jackson? I still think the Packers find a way to win this game.
Give me the Packers.
I do not like what I've seen from the Ravens. I don't think Lamar Jackson has been healthy in the last 6 weeks. He just hasn't looked right. He's not running the same. And by the way, they didn't give the ball to Derrick Henry when they needed to against the Patriots. So I'm going to take the Packers here. I like what I saw from the Packers defense last week. They played first game without Micah Parsons. They did a nice job against the Bears.
DJ Moore just scored again.
Well, they fumbled an onside kick, or else you wouldn't have had that chance. By the way, it's funny. When the Packers are going well, he's the guy that jumped did the Lambeau leap, and now the Bears are doing well. He's back off that band. You did a Lambeau leap off the bandwagon.
You got to play the hits.
You did a Lambeau leap in reverse. You jumped off the bandwagon.
Just trying to set you up.
Not today.
That line sitting at 2.5 for the total.
Christmas
a lot
week.
of low totals this week.
I'm the Grinch. Never forget that.
You really are.
Where's your dog, Max?
All right, guys, good stuff there with the Saturday tilts. Again, just a couple of games that we have there after 3 games on Christmas Day. So, again, head-to-head, Texans and Chargers, but on the same side.
That should be
Ravens.
bald head-to-head.
Skin to skin. Oh, you're gross.
Time to hit another break here on the show. Seahawks, number 1 in Pete's power rankings, taking on the Panthers, who are fighting for the South. Let's focus now the 1 p.m. CBS games on Sunday. Seahawks currently the 1 seed and number 1 in Pete Prisco's power rank.
Come on.
I'll get there.
I'm Malik Willis.
Now it's in my head. Now the confidence is gone.
That's hilarious.
Against the Panthers who lead the South, Steelers and Browns.
Oladokin.
Saints and Titans.
You're just saying it over and over.
I did.
Now that I told you how to pronounce
my
it.
confidence is shot. By the way, we are firing up something from the archives. Our producer, Jack, is showing us here.
Gosh, no.
Oh, yeah, see? Look at that.
Dude,
Look.
showing some tummy there.
Yeah, but look at you. Look how happy. Look at
Why
look,
is it all
now
like
you're
pixelated and like kind of like
That's you
choppy?
jumping-
Because that's how long ago it
That's
was. And
you
Pete's pulling stuff out like
That's
it's, you know.
jumping out. You're off. You're off the bandwagon.
You
were
get
on
in,
for a
you get
while.
out.
You get on.
Get in, you get out.
You still hurting from that, by the way?
I feel good. Hamstring was bothering me a little bit for a while, but
Seahawks.
Let's tuck the shirt in before we jump next time.
tummy, bro. I got to talk to my tailor about the length of my shirt.
Or dark colors keeps you looking slim.
There you go.
If you had that
There you
today, on that day, would have been
That's
fine.
brutal.
Seahawks north of a touchdown here, 7.5 at the Panthers with a total at 42 and a hook. Once again, head-to-head you guys are going. Pete, I'll give you first word here. Seahawks cover or Panthers cover?
This would be a really tough trip, but they get the extra days of rest. So I think that helps them negate the effects of flying across the country to play this game. I think the last time they went across and played a game, they played Atlanta and they beat the daylights out of them. It took a little while to get going. Remember that game? It took them a little while to get going, and then they beat the daylights out of them. I think they go across and they do the exact same thing to Carolina. I'm not convinced that Carolina's offense is all that good. I think defensively they've done some good things, but I think this is a game for Seattle to kind of keep the flow going before they play San Francisco. Now, that is a concern. They play the Niners next week. That's an enormous game, but it will only be an enormous game if they don't lose this game. So I think they have to keep on winning.
Whatever happens in the next few weeks with the Carolina Panthers, they can look back at this game against the Seattle Seahawks and say, it's a great place to start building confidence for next year. And they've been building confidence. The Panthers have been playing better. They found a way to win some football games. You beat the number 1 team ranked in Pete Prisco's power rankings. That's a feel-good thing. You get an opportunity to be at home. You talked about the Seahawks traveling across the country. That's a real thing. And their eyes are kind of on other things right now. So you would think that this might be what would you call it, a trap game here for the Seattle Seahawks? I think the Panthers want respect. Give me the Panthers.
But the game really, if Miami beats, Tampa Bay beats Miami, then the game doesn't mean anything to Carolina either.
Because the head-to-head had been Week 18.
Right. So
then all they're focused on is that Seattle Seahawks.
Right. So, I mean, I think Seattle is much better on defense and will match up really well against that offense.
Yeah, we'll hit up that Tampa Bay-Miami game, but that's a big reason why, even though Carolina won against Tampa last week, they lead by a game. If you look at the odds right now, still favors Tampa Bay to win the NFC South because of this week's game and then potentially the head-to-head there in Week 18. Again, that's for the next block. We've got Steelers and Browns. Steelers laying 3.5 against Cleveland. This is an even lower total than we're talking about, 36.5 in the Kansas City-Denver game. But Steelers coming off that exciting late game play against the Lions here. And
they're a real punchy team, that Steelers group. I'll tell you what, man, I think that even without their star wide receiver, this Steelers team can go handle business. I mean, I know the Browns have a really good front. They've got a
See
tough.
what you did there, a real punchy team.
What?
Smooth.
What did I do?
Well,
I'm just saying. I think this Steelers team, with or without their number 1 wide receiver, can survive. I think that's the way that they're coached. That's the way that they're built on both sides of the football. They play a tough brand of football. And everything you appreciate about the Cleveland Browns, the Steelers do the same kind of thing. They're just a better team. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They've started to run the ball, and they're playing better defense. That's the calling card of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're in December. And the calling card, when you're in December, up in these areas, in these games, is to run the ball and play good defense, and that's what they're doing. I look at the Browns. The Browns' defense hasn't been as good lately. It's kind of, I don't know if it's because they've lost some motivation of where they are.
Kept it close against Buffalo, though.
Yeah. And Shedeur Sanders, look, he's done some okay things, but I want people who question me when I say I don't think he's the long-term answer to go back and watch the game and watch the tape and tell me where he stands in and makes those throws down the middle of the field when you go 1, 2, 3, throw it down the middle of the field. There aren't many of them. He's hit some shots off of bootlegs. He's hit some off-schedule plays. But I think he's going to struggle against Pittsburgh. I'm going to take the Steelers.
He's played like a rookie. He's taken some sacks he shouldn't be taking.
In fairness to the guy, the offensive line stinks. The wide receivers aren't very good. And they don't really call plays where I think he can benefit standing in the pocket and throwing the ball down the field. But he holds the ball too long because he's playing like a rookie.
He's trying to make plays happen. It's the same thing that guy in Chicago had last year. He's trying to make too many things happen.
In Chicago, you thought he was the long-term answer. I don't think you think Shedeur Sanders is the long-term.
And no Quinshon Judkins for Cleveland.
That was brutal.
Terrible for the kid.
Deshaun Watson also not activated for this one, so he won't be available. Done. He's out. Unavailable. They just announced
they should make him unavailable for maybe the next couple seasons, but they owe him a lot of money.
That guaranteed life, you know. Saints and Titans, a tight spread here with a total of 30.5, where both teams playing well coming into this game here. Tennessee against Kansas City.
Tennessee got a taste of some big plays last week, got a taste of winning. That's got to be nice. But then again, this Saints team has been tough all season long. And their quarterback, we were just talking about Shedeur. You think he hasn't necessarily earned the right to have that seat next year. This guy, Tyler Shuck, in my opinion, he's earned the right to be there next year. Now, I don't know if he's your next 10-year guy, but he's next year's guy. And when you're building a program, you need a placeholder like that. You can see the way this team competes. Give me the New Orleans Saints all year long. They've found a way to compete in football games.
Kellen Moore's done a great job. This team it got age on it. They've had cap issues, and they have a lot of young kids, and they're starting a rookie quarterback, and yet they've won 2 games in a row, and they're competing. They're playing hard, tough, physical football. Tyler Shuck might be their long-term quarterback. He just might be. Some of the throws he made last week were phenomenal. He's playing against Air, otherwise known as New York Jets defense, but he made some big-time throws, and I'm impressed with what I've seen from him.
Looks like he also has found something with Chris Olave, who was a popular trade deadline
and he's reading it out, which you want him to do. He's athletic. He can run. We saw him do that against Tampa Bay. So the bottom line is I think the Saints are in a better position right now to win this game than the Titans. The Titans might have did themselves a major disservice by winning that game. They could have been the team that had the #1 overall pick. And if they had the #1 overall pick, they could have traded that for extra draft picks and assets because they do have their quarterback in Cam Ward. Cam Ward was better last week, and I think he's starting to make progress throwing the football, which is a good sign going forward for next year.
I want to say this about Shuck really quick, and Pete, you can echo this sentiment. He's in the perfect spot to go develop as a quarterback. There aren't a billion eyes on him every week on the New Orleans Saints offense. He's not like a Jackson Dart or a guy like Caleb Williams, who there are a billion microscopes on these guys. He's in a good spot. Just continue to plug away in New Orleans. You're going to look back and say, we did some really good things.
And Kellen Moore's a great guy to develop a young quarterback. I think it's perfect. It's a great situation for him.
Before we move on, Taysom Hill comments, quite emotional. Does it seem to you that all roads lead to him maybe calling it a career, guys?
Whatever he ends up doing, he's a football player. When you look up,
I called him the gimmick all those years. That's what I used to call him. That was my nickname for him, the gimmick. But hey, he helped them win a lot of football games. He's a tough kid. He's always been a tough kid. Just never been really a quarterback.
He can do everything though, and it's been fun to watch him play. What a competitor! He's done it the right way too.
Yeah. Great weapon, great fantasy asset. You can move him in multiple positions.
But never really been a quarterback.
But he's been positioned as one tight end. You could use him there.
But never really been a quarterback.
Thanks for reminding us, Pete.
Well, Sean Payton tried to sell me him as a quarterback years ago. I said, I don't think so.
One head-to-head in this block, 2 agreements from both these guys on the 1 p.m. CBS Games. Time now to talk about Jacksonville after a commercial break. Mayor of Jacksonville, chiming in. Let's take a look at some of the other 1 p.m. games, which includes Jags and Colts. Top 3 team in Prisco's power ranking still has a path for the 1 seed. Colts, on the other hand, need to win out and have Houston lose out to make the playoffs. We did talk about the Bucs and the Dolphins, get their fellas picks on that one, and then Cards and Bengals with Cincy laying a touchdown. Let's start with Jacksonville at Indianapolis, where Pete, you know how sometimes they say a team is maybe a year or 2 ahead of schedule? Is it possible the Jags are finally catching up? Because 2023, the collapse where they're in the 1 seed, didn't make the postseason. This is starting to feel like a team that can compete for a 1 seed and potentially make the Super Bowl.
Different team.
Well, Doug Peterson out.
Yeah,
comes
and
Liv
coaching
Cohen.
matters.
Sure.
You're learning that lesson in a big way. Not just the head coach, but the defensive coordinator, Campanelli, is really good. The offensive coordinator is really good. And this Udinski, he's a good coach. He's only 29 years old. They have a good staff. And players who weren't playing well last year are now playing better. And I think that's showing up each and every week. The roster is better. They fill in with guys that are, backups that they need to play, and they play well. I think that goes to the coaching. I think this team can make a run this year. If you're going to make a run in the AFC playoffs, this is the year. No Mahomes, no Burrow.
Potentially no Lamar Jackson.
Potentially no Lamar. So the 4 quarterbacks, three of the big 4 aren't going to be there. So I think this is a chance they can make a run. I think they will blow out the Colts this week, in large part because this Colts team is a shell of itself. No corners, no tackles. I mean, when you don't have your offensive tackles and you don't have your corners, you got big problems. And I think that shows up for Jacksonville this week.
Yeah, I love Jacksonville. I just think they're hot at the right time, and that's really important. Playing physical at the end of the season is a tough ask for some of these guys because they're so beat up physically. And, these seasons are so long, dude. Nobody feels good. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, you put the tape on Week 16, you're like, they are fresh. They look great. Trevor Lawrence looks revitalized. And you've talked about Liam Cohen this entire season. And he's doing a great job, but I think that defense, Campanelli's defense, is really the X factor that can get them those huge plays to launch them to where they want to go.
You know what they're doing, though?
What's that?
Back-to-back road.
Back-to-back road games. But, dude, we've had this conversation about the Colts going to Jacksonville, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think it's it's not
it's not the inverse.
It's not an issue. I'm not afraid of this.
Let me ask you this, as a player, former player. When you win a big game like that on the road and you got to come back and go back out on the road again and play against a team you should beat, is it hard to get back up again?
I was so simple as a player that I just kept it day to day, week to week. Is it Wednesday? Okay, we got inside run. Thursday, I can worry about the logistics and the travel and all that stuff when we come back in.
But were you
for
back up
Monday.
again after a big week right away?
Yeah, you have to be. Confidence is hard to come by and belief is hard to come by, and the easiest way to gain those two things is to play well and win. And then when you do that, it's like a drug. You want more of it and more of it and more of it. Next thing you know, you're the Denver Broncos. You won 11 straight games. Right. So, the Jags have an opportunity to get that belief and confidence in the right time this season.
6 straight for Jacksonville as they continue to trend towards the division and a potential 1-seed scenario. Beating Indianapolis will certainly help that. Let's get to a game I actually didn't mention on this screen, which is the biggest spread of our segment here, which is the Patriots laying 12.5 against the Jets with a total in the low 40s. Do we just almost fade the Jets given what they did against the Saints? Because you guys are both on the same side here, Kyle.
Yeah,
take the Patriots. Lay the points.
Patriots, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think about the way that they dropped that game to Buffalo a few weeks ago. 7.5 doesn't scare me now. I just understand it's airtight in that building, in the New England Patriots building. And they look at this game and they say, yeah, we should win, but we should dominate. And 12.5 is what they should win by. I'll pick the Patriots.
Yeah, we wish it was 7.5. We would lay that in a minute. The bottom line is the Jets are awful right now, and they don't even compete. New Orleans did basically what they wanted to do last week. You saw it a couple weeks ago. Jacksonville destroyed them. They're just not very good right now, and the quarterback situation's a mess. Where are their weapons? They don't have any. Their defense is really bad, and I think the only thing that would give you a little bit pause here is you're coming off a big win as New England, off that Sunday nighter. It's that could factor in, but nah, it won't. Free space. Give me
Vrabel
Drake.
Will not allow it.
Drake May will light them up. He will probably remember he threw for his first 300-yard game the other night.
Yeah.
He'll probably do another one this week.
I just can't believe that.
No.
Yeah.
I was just trying to double check on my phone. Garrett Wilson's missed a whole bunch of games. I think he's still the team's leading receiver. That's something.
They're awful. It's a bad situation. And if you want to blame anybody, blame Rick Spielman. Our former colleague.
Taking a shot
What's
at
up,
our
Rick?
guy. He's not even here.
I love him. I'm just kidding.
That guy's awesome.
He's working things behind the scenes. They got a lot of draft capital they can use down the road for them.
Yes, they do.
Not
They're
very
going to
good
fix
right
that.
Yeah, they're winding up for a big.
They're going to fix because they got a pretty good offensive line, by the way. Young
Yeah.
offensive line. It's going to be pretty good.
Bucks, Dolphins. Tampa Bay laying 5.5. Total is 45.5 here. Buccaneers trying to keep pace with Carolina in the South.
I made a big mistake and took Miami last week at home. That was one of my picks against the Bengals. What a moron I was. They took strides forward in the last 2 weeks. They've taken giant steps back. And I wonder if Mike McDaniel is truly safe. We heard those rumblings that he was safe. They don't want to fire him. But the last 2 weeks have been a bad look for the Miami Dolphins. And, did benching Tua do anything? No, it didn't do a thing. So the reality is they're not playing very well. Tampa Bay has some offensive issues, and Baker Mayfield needs to pick it up. I believed in this team before the season. I still do think they can make a run, but he's got to start putting up points because their defense isn't that good, and they got to score points to beat people. I think it starts here. I think he plays better. I think getting all those receivers back now, they've been together for a couple weeks. I think they start scoring more points. I'll take the Bucs.
Really quick trip. for Tampa Bay against a football team that, as you put it, I mean, they have been good at points this year. They've played physical, the Dolphins, at the line of scrimmage, closing games out with the run game. The quarterback stuff is kind of insurmountable. And I also picked the Dolphins last week. I thought Quinn Ewers was going to be a good answer to the McDaniel offense. You know, anticipatory throws, get the ball out quickly, not looking to just take the top off the defense, just play game manager, play a little bit of that style. It wasn't good enough, but also, you know, they're not playing against Joe Burrow red hot this week. They're playing against Baker, who's trying to get back on his feet and show his team that he's healthy enough. Give me the Bucs. I think they respond well against this Dolphins team.
By the way, the Dolphins have mines in Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, they want
Cabo, Cancun, La Playa.
Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go down to Kokomo?
There you go.
Sing the last part. We'll get there fast and then we'll
take it slow.
That's the best part.
That is a great one.
And you know what? The Bucs know. Here's the situation with the Bucs: win and win, they're in. It's as simple as that for them. Win this week, beat Carolina next week, and they're in.
And extend
Am I in
that
trouble
streak.
for singing?
No.
Why? You mean like copyright stuff?
Yeah.
No.
No, it didn't sound anything like it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. People go like, who sings that song? Let's keep it that way. Right? It's just the typical Prisco there. I thought you were good.
Thank you.
I was
It was
there
good.
with
It was
you.
very
I
nice.
appreciate it. Hey, thanks, guys.
Speaking of the aforementioned Bengals, they're laying a touchdown here against the Cards. You know, guys, I was actually reminded, I filled in, I think this time last year, we were talking about Joe Burrow giving katana swords to his guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun, no fun. Looked like he was having fun against the Miami Dolphins. Are you going to have fun this week, Kyle? What do you think?
So he was balling. And, you know, like that team offensively, you can do so many different things with the weapons they have. I mean, when's the last time you saw like a successful back shoulder fade ball in the end zone? I saw one last week to T. Higgins. Like Joe Burrow, he's the exception to the rule. He can put that thing where he wants to. He's got winners on the outside. Give me the Bengals in this one. Could get pretty loose. I mean, it got loose last week against the Dolphins.
It's funny you say loose because I got over on
Really?
there. That's one of my picks. I mean, it's one of my bonus picks. I gave the over. I'll give the over. But I like the Bengals. When you look at that Cardinals defense, so many injuries now. Walter Nolan's hurt. Sweat got hurt last week. We don't know what his status is. And I think that they have big problems on defense. Joe Burrow's going to have a field day throwing a football, but we also know the Bengals aren't great on defense either. So I think, you know, the Cardinals will be able to throw the ball around. It's just too bad Jacoby Brissett didn't put up big numbers because he got jinxed last week because he was Jamie Eisenberg's start of the week. And,
Oh, he went back to Jacoby? That's like second or third time this year.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, you should ask Jack, our producer, what he thinks about that because he cost him a couple fantasy leagues by listening to him.
Oof. That's brutal.
Two-time fantasy manager of the year and analyst, Jamie Eisenberg. That's okay. We still love Jamie. He's
We
great.
do.
Yes,
We do.
Just sometimes you don't
It's
know.
fun
what
to
say
take
about
shots at him once in a while because he takes shots at everybody.
He certainly does. Jamie's the best. Here's a recap where all the guys are on the same page when it comes to the games that we're talking about here. And then Pete Prisco sprinkling a little over of 53.
Loose.
That's the early game picks recap. We'll turn our attention to those 4 p.m. Eastern games, which includes Bills, Eagles, Buffalo laying 2.5 at home. Time now to talk late window Sunday. Giants and Raiders on CBS, battle of the teams in the current order to get the number 1 pick. 2-13, both of those teams. Then Eagles, Bills, Buffalo laying 2.5. Remember, Philly broke that 20-year streak of no repeat champion in the NFC East. Finally, we can say there was a repeat champion, and Eagles were able to do that. But let's tackle Eagles and Bills first. Short number here, potential Super Bowl preview, Pete. What do you think in there? Although these two teams aren't up the upper echelon of their respective conferences.
Not record-wise, but I think when you look at the conferences, you look at these two teams, they're both going to be really dangerous. I don't think there's any question about that. I think Josh Allen can get hot and take a team to a Super Bowl, and I think the Eagles have been there, and they're starting to look better now. And so, yeah, these are two Super Bowl contenders for sure. I just think the Eagles have locked up the division, so they're not really playing for anything. And you're maybe seeding. You'd like to get a better seed, but I think when you look at Buffalo, they still have a chance. It's an outside chance to get to win the division. I mean, they'd have to hope that the Patriots lose to either the Jets or the Dolphins, and so I don't think that's happening. But I think Buffalo will show up. I think they'll play better. Look, the Eagles' offense looked better against Washington. Buffalo's defense isn't great. but I think they'll play better on defense in this spot. I'm going to take Buffalo minus the points.
There's only a handful of matchups you get, particularly towards the end of the year, that really feel like and look like a playoff matchup. So for the Buffalo Bills, you'd have to imagine they're getting into that mindset now. And with all the opportunities that they've had that they have fumbled over the last couple of years on their championship runs, you got to think they're already in their tunnel and they're ready to roll. And the Eagles are going to get Josh Allen in a big way. Give me the Bills to handle the business on this matchup.
The Eagles' defense has played better in recent weeks. We got to give them credit. I mean, they've really stepped up.
They haven't played Josh Allen.
Nope. Well, let's hope that they allow Josh Allen to be Josh Allen, too. That's important. I know James Cook's a big part of their offense, but Josh Allen needs to play.
I was going to say, what do you think the Philly approach will be, to contain Cook or to then contain Josh Allen from the get-go?
It should always be to take away Josh Allen. First and foremost, number one priority, take away Josh Allen. And let's not forget, his ability to run helps open up the run game for James Cook, too. For all those people out there that think James Cook is the one who keys the offense, he's not. Josh Allen.
And what is the Vic Fangio defense? They major in keep it in front of you, bend but don't break. That's really the Vic Fangio MO. It's keep it in front of you, no big plays, and make them earn it throughout the course. Josh Allen is a guy that's a rule breaker on all this stuff.
Correct.
You can keep him in front of you if you want. He's going to hit 3 guys on his way to the end zone. Good luck with that. So you better come with an aggressive game plan against Josh.
And when you scramble, he can turn those into.
It's not don't let Josh scramble. It's we have to go cut Godzilla's head off. That's what they have to go do. Be aggressive.
Right.
2.5 is the spread there. We also
That's a big
have a
saw.
tighter.
That's a huge saw, by the way.
Yeah,
trying to get Josh Allen.
Good luck trying to do that, but 6'5", 250 or whatever he's at there. Giants and Raiders, 1.5 point spread. We're in college bowl season right now.
This has a name.
The NFL Draft Bowl. What's the name?
Don't win it.
Don't win
Don't
it
win
so you
it,
can
bowl.
win later.
Don't win it, bowl. You don't want to win this game. If you're either one of these two teams, you do not want to win this game. Don't win it. Look.
He's saying that. Players aren't going to do that.
No, the players aren't going to say that. I get it. Okay. You want to go win. I mean, Max Crosby plays every play like he wants to win, and he plays as hard as anybody in the league. I get it. You're a player. But, I mean, from a fan standpoint, if you're watching this game, you don't want your team to win. If you're the Raiders and you have a chance to get the #1 overall pick and you might get Fernando Mendoza as your starting quarterback, of course you don't want him to win. If you're the Giants fans out there and you think Jackson Dart is your long-term quarterback of the future, which is still to be determined, I think, in some people's minds, not mine, I think he is. But if you get that first overall pick, what do? You trade it, you get 2 first-round picks and other assets for it. So don't win the game bowl. That's what this should be called. Having said all that, I think the Raiders find a way to win this game. They played better last week. I'm going to take the Raiders.
I think all the same things that you think, and I think the Giants will win the game because just like our guy Jackson Dart can't get out of bounds or take a slide, I think he can't help himself. And if the Giants as a whole are a reflection of their quarterback, they're going to probably win this football game when they shouldn't.
Here's the interesting thing about it. Who will motivate their team more? Pete Carroll, who's done it for a long time, or Mike Kafka, who's in the interim job?
I heard a Mike Kafka team meeting. Have you seen this video?
It was awkward.
A lot of F-bombs.
It was awkward.
And I know Mike. He's not an awkward guy. He's a dude. He played the position.
Well, he fumbled in the team meeting.
A lot of F-bombs,
He fumbled in the team meeting. And so Pete Carroll would probably try and be that guy, we got to go win this game. Mike Kafka might get the word from above, don't win it. So I'm taking the Raiders.
Pete Carroll's got to figure out if he's going to see it through for the draft.
But they couldn't even get that right, could they, in New York?
No. You know what? These two teams should end in a tie. That's what it's appropriate. It would be a tie in the no-win bowl. Then you really have a no-win.
What would really be entertaining is they should just put Max Crosby at the 50-yard line and line up the Giants one by one and just see how many Giants he can get through in hand-to-hand combat. Max Crosby, maybe the most dangerous guy.
Well, he would win
in the National Football League.
You don't want to win.
He would win 53. It would just be 53 guys laid out on the ground.
We don't want to win. Don't win.
I would pay to see your scenario play out. I don't know if I want to watch this game.
Max Crosby's a bad boy.
Oh, man. You feel sorry for the guy. He plays on that team, and he plays hard every single play. I mean, last week, watching the tape of last week's game, it was amazing what he did. He's just a beast, and it's unfair to him because he plays on that crappy team.
He's all about Raider Nation, though, man. He loves that team.
You know what he's singing this week? Fernando. He wants Fernando.
Fernando.
That's another one. Oh, don't make me sing.
This is like a jukebox.
Don't call my name. Don't call my name.
Fernando.
Alejandro.
Alejandro's Fernando's brother over at IU there. So All right,
God,
guys.
that's good.
Okay. Then we just made Giants and Raiders spicy. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
We did.
I would tell you that.
MMA.
Both on Buffalo. Pete likes the over, and then finally head-to-head. Been a while since you guys been head-to-head with Giants and Raiders, but essentially that's a coin flip game.
They're going to tie. They're going to tie.
Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau versus Max Crosby. Max Crosby wins.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Bears, Niners. One seed implications, division implications. Kyle was like, ooh. Still have a couple of primetime games to talk about before we get to best bets. Bears and Niners.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Both are in the conversation for the one seed. San Francisco, if they win out, will certainly be there, and then they don't even have to leave Santa Clara for like 6 weeks. Both teams, by the way, finished in last place in their division last year. So before we get into this game, which is a tight spread within a field goal, Kyle, the Bears perspective, I mean, boy, on my social media, everybody that's been a Bears fan has been proud of what they've been doing. Caleb Williams doing the Cole Palmer, Morgan Rogers, if you're a soccer fan.
American Sign Language for bear, which I found out, which is pretty cool. Caleb has done his research.
Nice.
There will be a lot of Bears fans at this game. Okay, I've been in games as a Chicago Bear where you go to X, Y, or Z city and you run the football a couple times. You may have a lead at halftime. You come out and the Bears are having a party in an away stadium. You can really take over, and I feel like with their style of play, running the football, and I've said it week in, week out, it really makes you question defensively whether or not you want to go defend that for 65 plays in a row. And oh yeah, just when you're getting punched in the face repeatedly, Caleb Williams pulls the play action out, DJ Moore downtown for 50 yards. I love this team. I think they're a team of destiny. Give me the Chicago Bears. But the team on the other sideline, the 49ers, are in a similar kind of spot in terms of injury. All the chips have been stacked against them all year, but they just keep winning. And not just barely winning, they're winning football games. But give me the Bears to handle business against the Niners.
That's his homer pick of the week, and we'll give it to you.
Understandably.
It's the number one pick versus the last pick.
I love this game. Look, you mentioned it. Two teams that were in last place last year now playing for what should be maybe a one seed in the NFC. It just tells you where this league has gone this year. It's been crazy, and this is just proof of it. And what Kyle Shanahan has done, I said it earlier, he's done an amazing job with this team. Brock Purdy's playing great football. The ball's coming out. He's reading the field out. He gets he does things so quickly that it's hard for a defense to react to him. And he's ahead of you right now. And I think he'll be ahead of the Bears defense. I think the Bears are going to score too. The game gets loose. I think it's going to be high scoring. But I think this is a game for the 49ers at home where they tell the rest of the country, look, we're going to win this game. We're probably going to beat Seattle next week. And you are coming through here to get through the NFC playoffs. I think the 49ers, I don't love their defense. They have got some guys
It's going to be a
back.
hell of a game.
I have got some guys back. They're healthier. It's going to be a great game. I think it'll be high scoring. It's going to be fun to watch, but I think the 49ers cover the number.
What are the chances the winner of this game wins Coach of the Year in the NFL?
Well, I think that fans are more prepared to give it to a guy like Ben Johnson, and I'm not saying Kyle Shanahan doesn't deserve it. What I'm saying is fans become bored with greatness or goodness, and this guy Kyle Shanahan, he's done a great job for a long time, but as Pete said earlier when we were working on the 12 o'clock show, this is the best job that Kyle Shanahan's done. The only issue is Mike Vrabel flipped the script on the New England Patriots. Ben Johnson flipped the script on the Chicago Bears. It's going to be tough, but I mean, it's hard to argue with all the stars that have gone down and them keeping that ship moving forward.
It's a flaw in the system of the Coach of the Year that great coaches don't ever win it. And it's almost like they're underappreciated for what they do. As a guy, and by the way, the fans won't decide it, the voters do. And as one of the voters, if Kyle Shanahan has his team as the number one seed in the NFC, I know where my vote is going. And there are a lot of really good candidates this year. You talk about Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Liam Cohen. What if he ends up as the number one seed? I mean, so there's a lot of great candidates. It's going to be a hard vote, but the fact that he played the majority of the a lot of the season without a starting quarterback, his two main players on defense haven't been there for almost the entire year, Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, and this team could end up as the #1 seed in the NFC? That's just crazy.
Yeah, I think the real important thing to point out is when his quarterback was out, he went and got another one of his guys, Mac Jones, who he wanted to get coming out of the draft.
And beat the Rams.
And he coached his ass up quick, got him ready to roll. I mean, that's what great coaches do.
Sunday night in Santa Clara should be fun with Chicago and San Francisco going at it. Could be. We'll see the Niners again there. Super Bowl 60. Hey, there's Kyle with
Full
Matt
head.
Ryan.
They didn't cut it off today.
Did we resize and adjust that?
Yeah, look at that.
With
There's
our
one
OG.
version of it where he gets cut off halfway through,
I've
and it
seen
looked
that
like
one
it
before.
lower. And this one, you get the whole head.
Don't call my name, don't call my name.
Kyle.
Kyle.
Amanda spearheading the crew there on HQ, Paramount Plus, and streaming on the YouTube channel.
A lot of fun with those guys.
These guys do a great job. All right. Monday night, Rams and Falcons. It's a pretty big spread, 8.5 with a total of 49 and a hook.
He did it.
And then there was one. Monday Night Football, Rams and Falcons. LA fired special teams coordinator Chase Blackburn after that Thursday loss. Sportsline also currently giving the Rams a 22% chance to win the division. 8.5 is the spread with a total at 49.5 here. Rams laying the number on the road, and this is not the same Falcons team that we even saw play Buffalo way back when they looked like world beaters there. Kyle, what are we thinking in this game here? You think it's going to be maybe double digits or more?
Don't make it complicated. The Rams are a better football team. They have been all season long, and they were kind of the team that we didn't even have to talk about because we knew that they were going to be around at the end, and I think they're still those guys. And Sean McVay is still that coach. Matt Stafford is still that quarterback. Give me the Rams in this one.
It's, the fact that it's on a Monday night is tough sometimes when you're playing on the road in that kind of situation. But I think the fact that they played on a Thursday and they lost that game and they can get over it, they have time to stew and get over it, and I think once they get out on the road, they'll be fine again. That offense is so good right now. I mean, they can score a ton of points. I think they'll score on the Falcons. And I don't know. Look, there is some problems on the Rams defense. They've gotten a little leaky in the secondary. Ever since they lost Quentin Lake, who was a key part of that defense, they've had problems in coverage. And so I think the Falcons might be able to score, but I think in the end, the Rams will pull away with their offense and they'll cover the number.
Okay, despite Kirk Cochains leading the Falcons the last couple of games, playing fairly well.
And he played good against the Bucs in prime time, so he kind of, dispelled that
a little
But he's
bit.
better on Thursday.
Forgot about the primetime
He's better,
memes.
but he's better than he is on. He's better on Thursday, I think, than he is on Monday. So we'll see.
Okay, that's a look at Monday Night Football. Both of the guys are laying it with the Rams at 8.5 against Atlanta. There it is, a recap of Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football head-to-head out in Santa Clara with Niners and Bears. It'll be best bets when we come out next, and I do hear Chris Hassel is going to join in some capacity with his best bet. Home stretch here on HQ Spotlight as we enter best bets. Records-wise, Pete Prisco, Chris Hassel, 9-7. Kyle Long and producer pick 6 and 10.
I think I started off 2 and 8.
Oh,
So you're on a
made
heater.
comeback.
You're on a heater.
Trying to make it look respectable.
Yeah.
In the best bet.
There's not enough season left to make it
Same
respectable.
Pete, you got the better record between the two of you. What's your best bet in this?
I'm getting loose. Cardinals, Bengals over 53.5. I think we're going to see 60-something points in that game, so I'm taking the over. I love it. So I'm going to have a winner this week. I feel it.
Jacksonville -6.5 at Indianapolis.
Like it.
Way better football team. Obviously, they have limits there at the quarterback position in Indianapolis. It's a great story. Don't get me wrong. I love and respect Phillip Rivers. But I love the Jaguars right now.
All right, there you go. Pete and Kyle, I was telling our viewers and telling you guys that we would have Chris Hassel in some capacity, and we do have Hasselhoff giving out his best bet.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Standing in the middle of the street here in small-town Iowa, nursing a cold, but I'm still going to make my pick. Going against the Bears, got to go 49ers -3. Happy holidays, everybody.
Watch out for the tumbleweed, Chris.
Yeah,
I mean what is that town?
The guy's on the Hollywood set for a Western
Right,
movie. He's
and those trucks,
middle of the road.
Those trucks are from like 1928 or something.
Making picks in the middle of the street. There's nobody driving.
Right. Well, if you, a horse and buggy coming.
First
through.
off, I hate the pick. You know, and the delivery was even worse.
Well, he's a Bears fan. He's picking against
That's
them.
crazy.
Wow. Think about that.
He was good with the lighting too. He stared right in the sun because he knew the lighting was better with the trucks and cars.
He's good
down
like
the street.
that.
That might be like the kid at Christmas that I'm never going to get that. I'm not going to get that present. I'm not going to get that present, knowing full well he's going to get the present.
Yes.
If he says that.
That's exact. That's
We miss
exactly
you,
right.
Ash. We've got about a minute and a half to go. So I'm doing Tommy Teaser once again. So I'm taking your Jags
Okay.
pick, getting it down to a half. So they just need to win by 1. And I like the Texans, though, 7.5 against the Chargers. I think it'd be close. I think they could even win the game.
Like your
Same
teaser,
page.
Tommy.
So
Like
there
your
we go.
teaser,
So we
Tommy.
could both get it, though, because you like Chargers.
Yeah, I like your teaser.
Okay, there you go. It didn't hit last time. I did
What's the
Seahawks
producer
and
pick?
Bucks. Oh, so producer pick is
This should
1
be good.
point in every quarter of all 3 Christmas Day games at about even money. So you guys basically no goose eggs on Christmas Day.
Wow.
1 point in every
They get
quarter.
crazier by the week.
That would give you a reason to watch the Christmas Day games because
Yeah.
you were like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you
Plenty of reasons
So
to
is
watch
it even?
those
It's
games.
even money.
yeah, plus 105.
Okay, I like it. Guys got creative. Who came up with that? Is that Jack?
It's a Christmas Day special in FanDuel, so you can kind of get into the
Okay.
weeds, and there's a lot of boosts. There's a couple.
I like it.
plays.
I like it.
They're getting in the weeds on that one.
Yeah,
There it
they're
is.
bizarre.
Screenshot it, folks.
We
Cards,
actually pick
Bengals
games.
over.
We actually pick games. They predict. They don't know what they
Yeah.
pick.
Little props, you know. Christmas Day points. It's basically the gist of the
Goofballs.
that they've got.
I'm the Grinch. What do you want from me?
That'll do it for HQ Spotlight. What a beast of a show, by the way. This is always a fun time with Pete Prisco and Kyle Long. Christmas Day games calling and doing some studio stuff. Gonna be fun for you, my man?
Yeah, I'll be with Scott Hansen, broadcasting to the rest of the world. Anytime there's a break in action, we'll be on the desk messing around.
Nice.
Be a lot of fun.
Nice. Be fun.
And we'll be your Christmas Day on HQ.
Yes, we will be.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the holiday week. We'll see you.